We are going to pause for a second as we hear the closing bell on this Wednesday, August 19th, 2009. Just giving you a date check in case.
Want to take a look at the action? Let's do that. You've got equity averages just off their best levels of the day, but definitely off the lows that we saw earlier in today's session. So the S&P 500 up 2/3% at 996. Many of the major industry groups, if not all of them in the S&P, kind of taking part in this rally today. The Dow 30, 92.81, a gain of 0.7%, up 63 points. And taking a look at the NASDAQ at the close here, 1968, that is a gain of 0.7%. All right, let's get a breakdown of what drove the markets today. Suzanne O'Halloran joining us once again from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. We've got Laura Lee watching the groups moving the most in today's session, and our featured guest, David Kelly, Chief Market Strategist over at J.P. Morgan Funds. Suzanne, let's start with you. Let's talk about that trade today.
Well, that's right, Carol. You know, it really was an energy trade today, all about energy stocks, because that really helped investors shrug off all that nervousness when we saw Shanghai's market tank overnight. We saw notable strength in a lot of the energy companies, but particularly the big integrated oil companies like ExxonMobil, the Dow member, the best performer on a point basis for the Dow, and of course the S&P as well. This is where we saw a lot of the money flowing into integrated oils. We also heard from the team at Standard & Poor's today reiterating their strong buy on ExxonMobil. They say the outlook for the world's largest oil company is very strong. Also, big pharma stocks had a very strong day, and this group was a leader all day long. Even during the turmoil we saw this morning, we had a couple of legal developments that sent money into some of the pharma stocks like Merck. Merck was the strongest outperformer today, gaining over 2%. It won a patent battle for its asthma drug Singulair. Teva Pharmaceuticals was looking to make a brand version of this drug. They lost that battle. We also had Bristol Myers winning a shareholder lawsuit related to what it knew or didn't know about its Plavix. That's the generic version of that particular drug today. So Bristol Myers also had a big courtroom win. These courtroom wins actually helped a lot of the big pharma stocks today, Carol. So along with energy, big pharma, which could be considered a defensive group as well, saw a nice rally today, Carol.
All right, so Suzanne, a lot of groups took part in today's rally, but REITs, Real Estate Investment Trust, they got left out. What's the story with that group?
Well, they did. You know, most of the big real estate investment trust stocks fell today. We had the National Association of Realtors talking about this group and saying that office demand and office rents and occupancies will remain weak well into 2010. So we saw a lot of these stocks actually decline today, really being left out of today's rally. We know commercial real estate has been weak and continues to be weak, along with the residential market. We were talking about that earlier in the program.